What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're coming back to Ghost. Yes, indeed. Ghost fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity bop, do me a favor before you do all that stuff. Please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Hamish Alexander and Reggie J. They both want to see me react to this song by Ghost called Griftwood. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard this song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, yeah, I've heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I had to go and double check. I wasn't 100% sure if I'd heard this or not. I had to go and double check the set list from the concert I went to over at the Kia Forum over in Inglewood. I had to check the set list and make sure that this was not on there, and it was not. So I know I haven't heard this song now, unless it's been in passing. But they didn't play it at the show, so I'm safe on that end anyway. Let's see. This was posted by Ghost. Oh, no surprise there. And the video has 1.8 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Ghost. Griftwood official audio. Wah, wah, wah. Yep, there's that word official coming off of their official page. Yes, indeed. Look, you know what I'm going to say, so I'm not going to say it. All I'm going to say is we're going to just wait and see what happens and hope for the best. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Really? milking that riff for everything they can. The 1 to the 6 to the 3 to the 7. That Z pattern. You see me talk. If you've been watching this channel any amount of time, you know what I'm talking about. That Z pattern riff. All right, I'll demonstrate it. Give me a second here.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
All right, so here we go. Got my vampire here. So the root to the 6 to the 3 to the 7. Now, there's a lot of ways we could do this. They're doing it. They are putting one little flip on there that I like. So here's the pattern, right? The root to the 6 to the 3 to the 7. How many songs have we heard that follow that riff? Literally hundreds. Hundreds of hit songs have had that riff. As a matter of fact, Ghost themselves have had a couple of songs that have followed that riff and had some great success with it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that song, I did a reaction to it. What song was it? Dance Macabre, I think. I believe it follows the same pattern, but they do it in a different key. But it's the same chordal progression, though, the same pattern. 1, 6, 3, 7. So 1 to the 6 to the 3 to the 7. Now here's what's kind of interesting though. When they do the 3, they go down to the 3. So 1, 6, down to the 3, up to the 7. So instead of, they're doing, okay. Is there any really difference? Not really. It's the same note, just an octave apart. You know, it's still hitting the same integer. It's still hitting that third, that note. It's still hitting that, in this case, an F. Nothing wrong with it. Like I said, lots of bands have had success following this pattern. I just think it's kind of funny that they're relying very heavily on the riff throughout the entire song. They're not just saving that riff for the chorus. They've got it going in the chorus. They got it going in the verse. They've got it going through it. Most of the song that I've heard so far, they've had it going. Nothing wrong with it. It's definitely a very pleasing to the ear riff. It definitely flows well. It sounds good. And to some extent, it's super catchy, you know? So, you know, do I have a problem with them using the riff through the entire song? No, I don't have a problem with it as long as they figure out ways, 2 things. 1, to keep that riff sounding fresh, and 2, to use that riff consistently and yet still find ways to separate the phrases. How are you going to separate the verse from the pre-chorus? How are you going to separate the pre-chorus from the chorus? You know, even though you're using the exact same riff, how are you going to differentiate between the different parts of the song? Well, they figured it out. They did, through the use of fills, through the use of transitions, through the use of subdividing. They figured out ways to make things ever so slightly different. It's noticeable. You can tell when we're in the verse, when we're in the chorus. You can tell when we're in those places, but still utilizing the exact same riff. Not easy to do. They're doing it really well. I gotta give them props for that. Let's keep going here.
Sacrifice for the whore leads the way from shame. Be it a loser's game, the disdain and a board lash of the Senate whip. Ooh, it's a power trip. I'm your rock, baby. I won't back down. I'm your rock, baby. Ask yourself.
See, like right there, all they did was get rid of the 6, and they just stayed on the root instead. So instead of going root to the 6 to the 3 to the 7, they said root 3 7. They just made that little modulation. Just got rid of that one note. And it made a world of difference. You know, it really did. And all they did was, instead of going to the 6, they just stay on the root. It's very easy to do. But how many other bands do that, though? Most bands will just follow that pattern. So he just made one little change. That's all they had to do. That's, when you think about it, that's pretty smart. It is. I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's just laziness. They just didn't feel like going to the note. No, that's not it at all. They changed it up a little bit without losing their place on the roadmap. That's all. You know, they just made one little detour. They decided to stay in place and then go to the 3, then go to the 7. Cool. No problem there. And now we got 6 back in. Nice bridge. Guitar solo, really? All right, why not? Oh, nice layout. One measure layout, nice. You wanna hear from the spire. You wanna sit by the fire and never ever suffer again. Never suffer again. Modulation. So we modulated up a full step from D to E. That was slick. That was nice. I did not see that coming. Honestly, don't think it needed it, but it's a welcome addition. Absolutely, it's welcome. You wanna hear from the spire. You wanna sit by the fire and never ever suffer again. Never ever suffer again. You wanna play with the side. The vocals. You want a guy that believer. You are the greatest deceiver. And never ever suffer again. They did it again. They deliver once again. They do. They absolutely did. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Ghost with Griftwood. This was a request from Hamish Alexander. and Reggie J. Okay. I thought about it, took everything I heard into account. And I got a score, and the score makes perfect sense to me. It really does. And I know Ghost fans are really hoping for, the highest score possible. And I don't think I'm going to disappoint too many people with the score I got here. So let's get to the score, and I'll tell you all the reasons of how I came up with it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that an 8.7. Yep, 8.7. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, an 8.7. What does that mean? Well, an 8.7 would translate to a great skill rating. So overall, I think this was a great tune. It would also get 4 to 5 stars and an A letter grade. Yeah, let that one sink in for just a few seconds. So there you go, an 8.7, great skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. Everything about this song sounded, for lack of a better word, great. It really did. Everything about this song made sense. Everything about the song felt good. There were even a couple of nice surprises in there that I didn't see coming, and really kind of threw me for a loop a little bit. The biggest thing that I got out of this song, and this is just me, I'm not saying this for everybody, I'm just saying for me personally, looking at the song objectively, this is the thing that really kind of stood out for me more than anything else in the song. The way that they were able to take that Z pattern riff, that 1 to the 6 to the 3 to the 7, they based the entire song, when you think about it, they based the entire song off of that one riff. But they took that one riff and they were able to create several variations. So instead of going 1 to 6 to 3 to 7, they stayed on the 1 for the first two. 1, 1, 3, 7. Or they would start on the 6 and stay on the 6 for 2. 6, 6, 3, 7. Or they would go 1, 6, 7, 7. They wouldn't even go to the 3. Or they would go 1, 3, 7, 7. There were so many different variations. And then like in the pre-chorus, they would start on the 6, but still move from the 6 to the 7, or 6 to the 3 to the 7. Then didn't touch the root until they resolved. But my point is this: they took that one riff and they came up with so many different variations that they were able to create an entire song off that one riff, and yet it didn't sound repetitious at all, except for the chorus, which is supposed to sound repetitious because that's the hook. You want to get the hook in there. How do you do it? Repetition is one of the best ways. Take a riff that has a chordal progression that is very pleasing to the ear, and repeat it and repeat it and literally hammer it into the listener's skull until it literally lives in their head rent free for the next 3 weeks. There you go. There is a formula for a hit song right there. And they absolutely did that. That chorus is still running in my head. I just find it really fascinating that they were able to take that one riff and create all these different mutations that led to a song that, despite the fact that it theoretically, technically, it was repetitious, but it didn't sound repetitious. I found that very fascinating, and to some extent, I found it impressive. One of the reasons why we got all the way up to an 8.7, it's actually the main reason. Everything else across the board sounded great, yes, but I wouldn't say 8.7 great. I would say more like, 8.4, 8.5-ish. The musicianship, it was great across the board. I wouldn't say anything was all that impressive about it, but it was done really well. It was done greatly. Vocals sounded fantastic across the board. But again, impressive. I'm not going to say impressive because I've heard them do it before. As I know they're capable of doing it. I've even had the chance to go and see it done live and hear them do it in a live setting. And, you know, I expect that now. So they met my expectations. Yes, it was done really nicely. But I'm not going to sit here and go, my mind was blown by that, because it wasn't. It's going to be hard for Ghost to blow my mind out. After seeing them live, that's going to be hard. That is really going to be hard for them to blow my mind. But, you know, who knows? Maybe down the road, maybe they will have something that just blows me away again. We'll see. But, no, overall, I think this was a great song. I think it was well constructed, very well thought out. And Ghost, once again, delivers on their formulaic songwriting and their formulaic approach to their music. And their approach is, it's pretty cool, man. Taking those pop elements, but yet keeping it heavy enough for that hard rock sound. I don't know. Okay, me personally, would I call Ghost a metal band? I would not go that far. I would definitely call them a hard rock band without question. But they write such hooky lines, and they really rely on a lot of pop elements in their songwriting, into their approach for songwriting. But yet they give it that hard rock edge, and they give it that hard rock sound, and they have the hard rock attitude. That it's poppy without sounding poppy. And I don't understand how this band doesn't have more success, if I'm being honest with you. I don't understand how they don't have more radio play. But, you know, whatever. It is what it is. But I enjoyed the tune. Absolutely. This is going on playlists without question. But yeah, 8.7. And like I said, the songwriting is what really did it for me more than anything else. The songwriting and the arranging was outstanding. But everything else, like the musicianship and everything else, it was great. It was definitely great, but I wouldn't put it up in the 9s, you know. The only thing I might be willing to say the songwriting and the arranging maybe be up in the 9s, but even if it is in the 9s, 9.0, you know. But then again, you take the 9.0 and add it with the musicianship, which is an 8.5, and there you go, about an 8.7, 8.8, somewhere in there. So yeah, 8.7, I think that's fair. 8.7, yeah, let's stick with it. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow before I talk myself out of it and change my mind. So we got an 8.7, which is a great skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later, peace.